So we're going to dive into a really simple story today. It's just a few sentences long, and it comes from the time of the Prophet Muhammad. Now, on the surface, it seems like it's just about a rainy morning, but tucked away inside is this really deep truth about where we place our faith and how a single thought can completely change our entire perspective on everything. Okay, let's set the scene. Imagine you're in a place called Hudaibiya, right outside Mecca. It's just before dawn, and it's been raining all night long. As that first little bit of light starts to break through, the prophet is leading his companions in the dawn prayer. You can almost feel it, right? That quiet, cool, damp air. And it's right here, in this peaceful moment, that a huge lesson is about to unfold. So after the prayer, the prophet turns to face everyone. But he doesn't ask about the weather or how they slept. Instead, he asks this: "Do you know what your Lord has said?" And boom, just like that, the whole vibe changes. You just know this isn't some casual morning chat. This is a moment of divine communication, and you can bet everyone leaned in, waiting to hear what was next. So, what was that divine message on this rainy morning? Well, the answer that came next was both incredibly simple and seriously powerful. This was the people's reply to the prophet's question. And this is so important. It's a statement of complete humility. They're not trying to guess. They're not offering up their own opinions. They're basically saying, we know where the real knowledge comes from. It's like they're empty cups, just ready to be filled with wisdom. And then comes the message from God. And frankly, it's pretty startling. God says that on this very morning, the community was split right down the middle. Some of them woke up as believers, and others woke up as disbelievers. Think about that. The same rain fell on every single one of them. They all prayed the exact same prayer, but in that moment, a massive division had just happened. So you have to wonder, what could cause such a huge, clear divide? It wasn't some big, dramatic action or a public declaration. Nope, it all came down to a single thought, a single sentence that showed what was really going on in their hearts. And this brings us right to the heart of the lesson. What was that dividing line? Let's take a look at the two statements that separated true belief from disbelief. What's so fascinating here is just how simple this is. Look at the two sides. The believer says, "We've been given rain by the grace and mercy of Allah." Their focus is 100% on the ultimate giver. The other person, the disbeliever, says, "We got rain because of this star or some astrological alignment." Their focus is on the means, on some created object. The event is exactly the same for both. It rained. The entire difference is where they gave the credit. Now let's be really clear. This isn't about rejecting science or meteorology. It's about rejecting superstition and remembering the ultimate cause behind everything. The person who gives credit to the stars isn't just making a mistake about the weather. They're actually committing an act of disbelief. They're giving a created thing the power that belongs only to the creator. It's a complete transfer of faith from the source to the tool, and that is the entire issue. All right, so let's zoom out a bit. How does a story like this apply to us, today? Well, its message is absolutely timeless because it's all about our internal perspective on literally everything that happens in our lives. This whole story really boils down to a few key ideas. First off, true faith is an internal lens. It's how you choose to see the world. Second, a huge part of belief is tracing every single good thing back to its real source, God. Third, it's a major warning against putting our faith in things like luck, chance, or other superstitions. And finally, it shows us that the simple act of saying, "This is from God," is in itself a profound act of gratitude and worship. So all of this leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. When something happens in our lives, good or bad, when the rain comes, so to speak, where do we direct our first glance? Do we look at the immediate cause, the person, the star? Or do we look past all that to the ultimate source of all grace and mercy? That first glance, that very first thought, it might just say everything about where our faith truly lies.